We all seem to obsess over potatoes, and for good reasons. They're satisfying and delicious. Baked, fried, or yes, even Frenched. You know what I mean. But we are especially obsessed with getting them crispy. That tooth-shattering, golden kind of crispy. By the end of this video, you'll know 3 great ways to make crispy potatoes at home. But we're gonna have a little fun with it. A lighthearted mystery to solve. Think Agatha Christie or Knives Out, but with potatoes. Yep. Lots and lots of potatoes. I think there's a new one coming out. Yeah, that's better. And here's where the mystery begins. There is one video, one specific video that has been living rent-free in my head for 5 years. Now, I know it's ridiculous, and for my own edification, I needed to address it.
Hey everyone, I'm Ethan, a home cooking nerd who likes to find better ways to cook and share them with all of you. In this series, what we do is take various recipes.
I remastered Adam Ragusea's crispy oven fries. It's 2 videos in my head. Ethan's now has over 3 million views, and Adam's video has over 15 million views. God damn, 15 million views. I remember thinking about this video idea a couple of years ago when it was sort of just like rattling away in my head, and his video only had 5 million views. So kudos to Adam. That's impressive. So let's solve this mystery. Why these 2 videos have stuck with me for so long. Maybe we call it Murder on the Oven Fry Express or Curious Incident of the Fry in the Nighttime. I welcome your potato pun filled titles in the comments. Whatever we call it, just know this story's got more twists than a bunch of pigs running loose in a curly fry factory. I'm sorry I tried to do the southern accent thing. I know I'm not Benoit Blanc. Before we investigate our first suspect, we need to revisit the scene of the original fry. Adam's recipe is pretty simple. Potato wedges, parboiled for 8 minutes, roughed up and dried, tossed in a frankly alarming amount of oil, and roasted at 450 Fahrenheit for 90 minutes. Flipped once at the halfway point. Supposed to be ultra crisp, hands-off perfection. That's the baseline Ethan was remastering. Speaking of which, suspect number 1, Ethan Chlebowski. Now, this whole remastering thing, maybe that's what was bothering me, but we've seen it before. Joshua Weissman kind of popularized it with his But Better and But Cheaper series. It's something creators do. They ride the coattails of a bigger YouTuber or something recognizable. I mean, Ethan's video is practically 1 year exactly from Adam's video date. And so you make a spin on that idea. It's all part of the game. I mean, I've done it. Well, I'm doing it. This video is that kind of video. I'm acknowledging the irony, Alanis. But when I saw these videos 5 years ago, I wasn't making YouTube videos. It, however, funny enough, inspired me to start. I experimented with different oven fry techniques right after, but I never made a video. And let me just preface this by saying, I'm a fan of both these guys. I started watching Ethan back when he had around 100,000 subs, which could be early by how huge he is now. And honestly, it was through Ethan that I started watching Adam's channel. It might have been this exact video that made me curious. Why is this young whippersnapper Ethan bothering this nice guy Adam Ragusea and his oven fry recipe? As for Adam, his content turned out, to me, really enjoyable, educational, informative, relatable. I happen to like what he was doing, and I know he's not for everyone, and that's okay. I just appreciate these people sharing their stuff. Anyway, back to suspect number 1, Ethan Chlebowski and his crime of remastering the oven fry recipe. For Ethan, what he ended up doing was not that. He didn't improve Adam's recipe, he made a different product entirely. Okay, maybe it's semantics. A potato is a potato, and maybe it's just me. I mean, it's definitely me. But what Adam was making are not oven-baked French fries. And Ethan, my good man, you made French fries. Here are Ethan's 3 big changes. Cutting the potatoes into fries instead of wedges. Secondly, he's salting the parboiled water. And third, adding vinegar to the water to help the structure. And lastly, he uses peanut oil, although Adam suggests that one too. None of these are bad ideas. In fact, they're smart, but remastering it was a It was a bit of chutzpah, perhaps the epitome of hyperbole. Salting the water, sure, it helps flavor. He even explains it that if you eat the boiled potatoes without salt, they wouldn't taste good at all. Okay, Ethan, nobody's eating boiled potatoes. We're about to drench them in oil like it's the Exxon Valdez and salt them again like Romans at Carthage. And vinegar's fine too. It's just not what Adam was going for. And cutting them smaller? You made French fries. You're supposed to cut them smaller. And of course they're gonna bake faster. It's like saying you remastered Costco's giant chocolate chip cookies and proudly presenting smaller cookies that bake faster.
Well, come on!
And that's just what bugged me. I can't explain why, it's ridiculous, but something about calling fries remastered oven fries was an earworm that crawled into my brain and obviously refused to leave. YouTube is filled with these outlandish things. I get it. I get it now. I certainly didn't get it then. All the creators do it. Adam does it too. They'll say something or do something and it's so well written, it pierces and rattles around in your brain for days. In Adam's video, he just casually dropped the "no one eats a plate of fries," and that's all everyone is commenting on in his video. So sometimes those little things rattle around in my brain, and honestly, remastering does sound better than I made my own version. I mean, where's the drama in that? With almost 20 million views combined, were Ethan's fries better than Adam's? Because Adam's recipe looked perfectly fine. And you're probably wondering, did I make Ethan's remastered fry? Yes, a few times, and each time they were good. They were excellent French fries. But before I did that, I had to start with a baseline. Admittingly, I went in thinking Ethan's video was unnecessary. Ethan's video made it sound like Adam's method was somehow flawed, and as a dad cooking for a family, Adam's big batch, hands-off approach sounded perfect for me. So I started with Adam's recipe, the original, thinking, I'll defend his honor. Suspect number 2, Adam Ragusea. Yeah, it didn't work. I mean, I have made these 10 times including today, and it just isn't good. Let me explain, because I did not expect that. To be fair, it could absolutely be user error. I know other variation is real. I know about the replication crisis in science, from medicine to psychology, and now potatoes. But I've made these 10 times, and look, this is at 85 minutes. They are just almost black. In my previous batch in November, they came out so dark, I just threw them out. Maybe my oven is the 7th circle of hell. But here's what I realized. Everyone is commenting on how nobody eats a full plate of fries. No one even mentions anything about 90 minutes at 450 degrees? That feels insane. How did no one say anything about that? This footage I made while testing the recipe shows the difference at 60, 70, 80, and 90 minutes. And you can literally watch the oven fries transform from, oh, that looks good, to something you'd give a naughty kid on Christmas. Look, a few times I tried it, I managed to pull them out a bit sooner than 80 to 90 minutes, and they were crispy, yes, but no potato flavor. Were they tooth-shatteringly crunchy? Absolutely. Were they acrid, burnt? Oh, you bet. My family begged me to stop making them, and I made several more times just to be sure. For me, to vindicate Adam. But it was like biting into carbonite. But also, Adam pitched it as hands-off cooking. So we can use the stove. But did anyone bother to ask, what are we doing on the stove for 90 minutes? Don't say a brisket. A brisket on the stove with oven fries? Listen, lomo saltado doesn't take 90 minutes. I get the appeal. It sounds great. It's an earworm. It gets you excited. But I just don't think it's a real thing. Also, who needs 90 minutes to make dinner for your family? Look, maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas, but not on a weekday, that's for sure. Like if I'm cooking dinner for 90 minutes on a Wednesday night after the kids come home from school, it's because I have seriously messed up. What is that saying? People who fail to plan to make really burnt potato wedges? Now, to his credit, Adam's recipe is channeling something specific, the British roasty. In that video, he mentions that connection. Big pieces of potato roasted hard, often in goose or duck fat. British roasties are great. Fluffy on the inside, crunchy on the outside. But most recipes I looked up, they parboil them for about 10 minutes and then roast them for 60. And those are whole or half potatoes, not wedges. Crunchy. In my last test, where I did both Ethan and Adam's version plus my own remastering, I guess that's what we're calling them now, my mother-in-law was visiting.
All right, having French
and this is
fries.
us enjoying the fries. But when I told my Ukrainian-born immigrant mother-in-law, who has basically sustained her entire life on potatoes, about the timing and temperature, she almost choked and immediately just shook her head in disbelief, like any disapproving babushka would. It's just too much. I'll offer all the tips at the end of this video, but consider this: 425 for 30 minutes, flip, and then another 15 to 25 more minutes, or 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, flip, and then maybe 15, 20, 25 minutes, depending on how dark you want them. Look, I made this one at 60 minutes in the oven, and this was 85. The big wedges help preserve the potato flavors. Crunchy like you wouldn't believe. And yes, salt the water, but it's not hands off for 90 minutes total. Crunchy, but kind of burnt. Now, I know what you're thinking, Alex. It's been over 5 years. How are you still thinking about this? And that's very true. There is a great content creator and food philosopher that says, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but you have to be careful in how one presents or communicates information. Even with recipes, they're careful to say things more from their own perspective, like, this is how I do it, as opposed to, now you need to or should. And I certainly don't think I'm that careful in my own videos. And that food philosopher, why, that's Morgan Freeman. I'm just kidding. It's Adam Ragusea. Look, if I'm not mistaken, I did read that he also might embody this belief by Marco Pierre White. I know he's a fan, but I couldn't verify it, and I'll share it with you now. It's that when you cook, you should always use the word today. Like, today I'm making my favorite oven fries, because over time, how we make things change. So maybe, and very likely, he doesn't make his oven fries that way anymore. But before we move on, let's circle back to Ethan. His fries, they're great. They're truly great. Salted water seasons the interior. The vinegar, it helps hold their shape. Peanut oil is a winner. I'm sorry I let your remastering get to me and in my head. Now finally, I want to introduce you to one final suspect. If we're gonna talk about oven fries, there was a recipe around the same time, and I have made them several times with great results, and they're worth talking about because it's a different approach. Suspect number 3, America's Test Kitchen. Julia Collins Davidson and Lan Lam. If you haven't tried their recipe, their oven fries are fantastic. Definitely more food sciencey like Ethan was suggesting, and the opposite of what Ragusea was going for, but nonetheless worthwhile. What I like, and the reason I'm sharing this, is that they use way less oil. Here's their method. Spray a baking sheet with oil, then add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and spread it out. The spray oil has something that reduces surface tension, so you get away with using less oil. Cut about 2 pounds of Yukon Golds or russets into planks. Mix 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3/4 of a cup of water inside a separate bowl. Microwave that slurry up to 2 minutes, stirring every 20 seconds. This batch took me about 1 minute and 30 seconds, but let that cool slightly, then toss the potato planks in it. Spread them out onto the baking sheet and cover with foil. Bake at 425 Fahrenheit for about 12 minutes. After that, remove the foil and bake for another 15 to 18 minutes. Once that's crisp enough, flip, bake for another 10 to 18 minutes, depending on how crispy you want it. Pat the oil off and season immediately with salt. And there you have it, 3 recipes worth sharing. So here's what I learned. With Adam Ragusea's recipe, it's a simple process, big batch, family friendly. The technique is good, but the time and temperature is a little too aggressive. I'd lower it to 425 Fahrenheit for about 50 to 65 minutes in total, but don't forget to flip at the halfway point. Ethan Chlebowski, it's an excellent French fry recipe, crisp, fast, done in 30 minutes. Salting the water and vinegar help, and the peanut oil is a big win. It's just not remastered oven fries, they're just great fries. Now, America's Test Kitchen. You got a crispy shell with way less oil, soft interior and great color, but it is a more involved process. Here are my 8 tips for the perfect oven fry. 1, when cutting the potato, trim the edges of your potatoes so that the tips don't burn, unless you like that. 2, for French fries, rinse or soak to remove excess starch. Famous chef Heston Blumenthal from Fat Duck fame soaks his restaurant fries for 30 minutes. Number 3, for parboiling, salt the water and add vinegar to keep it from breaking. Or add a half a teaspoon of baking soda to the water to do the opposite. It will break down the starch and create micro pockets in the potato, which means increased surface area for the oil to crisp up. Number 4, dry the potatoes really well before roasting. Moisture prevents crisping. Number 5, don't fear the fat. Choose a high smoke point oil. If using peanut oil, make sure it's refined, which can withstand temperatures of 450 degrees or higher. Unrefined peanut oil can only go to about 375 degrees Fahrenheit and can burn quicker. And consider additionally adding a drizzle of duck fat or beef tallow to the fries. Yes, even the low-fat version from ATK can benefit from a flavor boost. Number 6, use your eyes, not the clock. Every oven's different, so check in with your fries. Number 7, pat them down, those finished potatoes, with a towel and remove excess oil and salt your fries immediately. And number 8, one last piece of advice, and I get that fresh fries are great, but so are a frozen bag of French fries. They're quick and easy and an affordable option. You can wash off the ice and pat them dry and use a little bit of peanut oil and a drizzle of duck fat for incredible results, and they only take 30 minutes. I'm glad to put this mystery away for good. I really wasn't sure how to end this because I thought it would have been funny if I remastered an Ethan Chlebowski recipe. I mean, maybe I'll remaster recipes from now on. Like if I take an Adam Ragusea video, like this marble pound cake, 1 batter, 2 flavors. Recipe looks pretty good, and what's this? He bakes it for almost 90 minutes.